Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to our live streamed DESPOT run of Suzerain. Hope you all have had a beautiful week behind you. I'm going to be honest there, partway through that sentence, I completely forgot what day of the week it was. Because it's been a ridiculous one for me. I legitimately have lost track of the days multiple times this past week, but I have remembered that it is Friday. I have remembered to wake up, and we're here now, and I'm very excited for today's session. I'm very excited for everything that's to come, actually, over the next, I would say, 2 sessions, possibly. Give me 1 second over here, folks. Apart from everything I did remember, one thing I did forget is to actually get PartyBot in the house. So let's go ahead and make sure PartyBot's showing up. There we go. I hate that the music dies if I alt-tab out of this game, but there it is. Because it is beautiful music. I'd love it to just stay on, you know. But yeah, this session is going to be very wild. There's a couple of cliffhangers we left things on last session. We'll see how some of that stuff plays out. Because the game's been like, again, we've made some major decisions, and the game decides, hey, you know what? You're not going to find out until next chapter, and like 5 events down the line. So I'm curious about how all that plays out, and how we're dealing with our, you know, internal affairs, get it? So that's one thing I'm worried about. But it's also, we're coming close to the end game, right? This chapter is called Checkmate. You know, war with Runeberg is potentially right around the corner. There is, things are getting worse. We've got our, you know, terrorist situation going on as well, of course, with the, again, just going back to the cliffhanger, we've got a terrorist situation with the dam being, taken over by Bludish terrorists, by the Bludish Freedom Front. We've got the governor of that region also taken hostage. There's so much going on. It's gonna be a wild episode. I'm a little concerned. But hopefully we're actually able to wrap this season up, if you will, this DESPOT run up over the next couple of sessions. Our previous run through was a 23 episode playthrough. I would love if this one ended up being 23 or 22 episodes as well, because that would mean that before my birthday, which marks the beginning of our coverage of Suzerain, we will have completed 2 playthroughs, and it would be nice to kind of wrap it up and move on to some other stuff. I'm interested in coming back to Suzerain again at some other point down the line, perhaps, because there's still, I'm sure, storylines that we haven't explored. But in the very near future, there's some other things I would like to explore, some other games I would like to explore. We've been talking about Disco Elysium a lot. I've been really curious about that game ever since it came out, and I feel like it would be a nice swap out for Suzerain. But on that note, let's go ahead and hit that resume button, get back into it, and try and make some decent progress today, especially to make up for last week, right? As we dive in, though, of course, a warm welcome to all of y'all who are hanging out in chat. Sully Dwyer, a good morning to you. I hope you're still there. If you are, then I hope you're hearing me say good morning right back at you. Jazzy B, got to be working in the office today, so you'll catch the VOD. Sounds good, buddy. I hope you're enjoying the VOD when you're watching it. RoboGold, how's it going? Bomb EE, how fares? Spindle, how goes? Wickles, Ted Knight, Hal Thor, having a good day. Hope Ren, hey. Shadow Wolf Gaming, how goes? We have with us as well the map scrolling over because I've moved the mouse across the screen. Fussin19, how's it going, buddy? How's it going? B Storfer, Marshall Gibson. First time here live? Well, hey, I'm glad you can make it. Hope you have a good time today. Flak Armor, how goes? The Civil War looms indeed. Things are really getting heated. Should I be here or should I catch up by watching other videos? I mean, depends on, you know, how invested you are in like the storyline and stuff. If you just want to kind of chill and have some Good Friday vibes, then feel free to hang out. If you care for spoilers and stuff, then, you know, if you're following the narrative, then you might want to watch the VODs and stuff, and instead, Shadow Wolf. Yeah, because I'm surprised. I actually got a decent night's sleep last night. I got a full like 5-ish hours or so, which is, you know, 3 times my usual. So I'm feeling pretty good today. The rain train cannot be stopped, indeed. Spindle, indeed. We're gonna keep it going. Flash Trosman, how's it going, man? Have I come across Ambition, A Minute in Power? I am not familiar with that. Well, actually, you know what? That does sound familiar. But it's like, it's ringing a bell, but I can't place it in my head right now. Can't place it in my head. I did RoboGold. That's why there was a slightly longer delay this time than usual. And yes, there is no, as you pointed out, there's no donation link today because there's some stuff going down in the world of streaming, and I'm gonna have to consider the software and stuff that I use for a lot of the core functionality of my live streams. It's a long thing to get into, so I'm not going to get into it right now. Maybe I'll talk about it in the Discord afterwards. But I'm going to be shifting over from Streamlabs to some other software, and I'm going to use it's a whole shift that I need to do. I was hoping to get it done by today, but unfortunately wasn't able to get it all set up just because this week has been so crazy. But hopefully by for Crusader King's stream on Monday, I'll have everything figured out and up and running. If not by then by next Friday for sure, because that'll be more than enough time for me to do my research, find my alternatives, and get everything up and running. I have some things scoped out already, but it's just a matter of shifting everything over. Exactly, Flasland 19. And again, it's a lot to get into right now, so not going to get into it right now because it is a lot, and I want to make sure we make progress today in Suzerain. But I'll happily chat about it in Discord. In fact, folks, tonight, after a couple of weeks of just like ridiculous amounts of work tonight, I'm going to spend some time after I get the recording stuff done for tonight. I'm just going to, I think, chill on the Discord for a little bit at least, because I need a break after these couple of weeks. Lots have been going on the channel. But folks, one thing I noticed actually while I was looking at our previous run rather, I noticed that at this stage in the game, our economy was doing a lot better in our previous playthrough. Our economy was at like 5 or 6 pips at this stage in the game, and our budget was worse. We were at -4, and it ticked down to -6. So it's kind of funny. I'm a little concerned. You know, I feel like the emergency and extending the emergency not once but twice might have been a bit of a mistake. So we'll see what comes of it. Boppy Fire, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, I'm gonna do I'm gonna be doing a birthday stream for sure this year. I'm not yet set on what I'll play. I don't know if it'll be Tetris. I was kind of tempted by RimWorld. RimWorld came up briefly on Monday, or was it last week Friday? So I'm kind of tempted by that. It'd be a nice stream, see if we can survive, or maybe something else. I'm not set on it just quite yet. I'm open to suggestions. Last year, you know, being president for a day had a nice ring to it. This year, I'm curious what might work for the birthday stream. All right, let's take a look at the news over here. Geopolitical. There's not war just quite yet, but we might be seeing one kick off later this session. How was my personal wealth? Oh, personal wealth was terrible in the previous playthrough. Personal wealth was really bad in the previous playthrough. I think it was closer to like 0 or 1. Yeah, it'd be fun, wouldn't it, Spindle? Just like do a whole. Yeah, I think RimWorld would be quite nice. Oxygen not included would be cool as well. I mean, I'm already interested in that game. I've wanted to play it ever since it was in like early access and stuff. The same thing with RimWorld as well, though. So I might. We'll see. Wait, there's a multiplayer mod for RimWorld, Spindle. All right, Geopolitical. Sorry, I'm getting distracted again. I just like hanging out with you guys, you know. All right, Hegel would take all the necessary steps. In a televised address, Chancellor Emmerich Hegel claimed intensive fighting was taking place between the Angnolian forces and the locals of Helgeland, resulting in the massacres of ethnic Volgs living on the island. He portrayed the conflict as a national struggle and compared it to the independence wars of the former colonies in Riga. Hegel said, Volgsland, as the guarantor of Helgeland's security, would take all the necessary steps to prevent mass atrocities committed against the islanders. Van Horten said in a television interview with that Volkslandians must withdraw their harassment squad from the Markian Sea before any diplomatic talks can happen. To me, this has been my favorite like side plot in this playthrough. Like, just wanting just wanting our old allies to horribly fail. You know, it's my favorite side plot, and I'm all for it. I still want to see them fail. They deserve it. If they hadn't dragged me all the way up, to their airport, and well, not just to their airport, but to their Capitol building and all that, just to tell me get out of my country, I wouldn't care so much. But because they dragged me up there, I'm extra like bitter about it. Geopolitical. Because it rhymes? What? I must have missed it. Pankaj Singh, how's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it today. Oh my god, Halthor. How did I not see that coming? Alright, end of day at home. The residence of the president of Sordland at Hallsword. Sergio, how's it going, buddy? Having a good one, I hope. Alright, let's see. It was raining as Serge dropped me off at home after yet another grueling day at work. A guard held an umbrella over my head as I walked from the car to my front door. Inside, The house was completely dark. I flipped on the light in the kitchen to find a note from Monica. Traitor that she is. Remember the whole conversation about women's rights and how she's kind of forced her way into the conversation. That was 2 sessions ago, so I guess she's busy with that. Sierra had called her in for a last-minute women's rights meeting. She dropped Deanna off at a friend's and left me some food for reheating. This is the future she wants for Sordland. I took the pot out of the fridge. It was filled with an unidentifiable grayish-looking stew. Evidently, Monica's excellent cooking had been the first casualty of her political career. I'm gonna order a pizza. I'm the president. I deserve to eat properly. And that's right, actually, we're not dead yet. Not just quite yet. I called Serge and asked him to pick me up a pizza for dinner. That's not what I said. I don't want to send Serge on useless errands. I can order a pizza for myself, damn it. While I was waiting for him, I went into the living room to fix myself a drink. Suddenly, the phone rang. I went back to the kitchen and answered it. Frank's voice was on the other end. Oh, I thought Mom would pick up. Sorry, you're stuck with your old man. I think, I could do a temperature check and just see what Frank feels about women's rights as well. Nah, a little bit of levity, I think, is nice. Sorry, you're stuck with your old man. I didn't mean it that way. I just figured you'd be working. There was a long silence. I got that record you sent me. Not bad for old folks' music. I'm glad you liked it. How's Uncle Peter doing? He's old enough to know the truth. He's old enough to know what life's like out there. He and Evelyn are divorcing. Oh, bummer. Not exactly a surprise, though. God damn it. Hey, I want to be that kind of a dad. So, got a girlfriend yet? Not that it's any of your business, but I might be seeing someone. She's no fan of yours, though. You know, with all the protests here. Yo, what the hell? Everyone's betraying me, man. First my wife, now my own son. What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? Now, I'm pretty sure the pizza's safe. I'm pretty sure Serge still likes us. We paid for his kids, like, tuition and stuff. I'm sure Serge still likes us. Though, there's a noticeable lack of a lucky charm in this playthrough so far. And we ended up sending Frank to, which university did we send him to? We sent him to university. He's not in military school this time around. We sent him to university. We covered for him. Peter's doing all right. I don't know who he's doing, but as for the how he's doing all right. Ghost Tank, how's it going, buddy? Shadow Wolf, this game is amazing. If you're not at all familiar with it, Suzerain has some good and interesting twists and turns. In my first playthrough, wow, I mean, I don't want to spoil it if you want to watch the first playthrough as well, so you let me know. But there are some interesting twists and turns in this game. Some very interesting twists and turns. Are you joining the revolution? No. I hope you're putting in a good word for me. Nothing but a tear gas. Oh my God! Nothing but a tear gas can't fix. Be careful, Frank. These protests are getting dangerous. Oh man, I don't know which one I would go with. I'm seeing Aksham right there calling for 3 there. I mean, I don't know if Anton means it as a joke. Shadow, we in our previous playthrough, there was an assassination attempt on us while we were giving our pre-election speech. The game's wild. The game's a lot of fun. With all the protests here, you know what? Sure. I mean, hey, we've been joking around so far. I don't know if we're joking anymore. Nothing a bit of tear gas can't fix. Actually, Dad, I've been taking part in some of the protests. You piece of, I went to bat for you. I sent you to university. You're having the life I'm legitimately kind of angry. Like in character. in character. It's like, what the hell, man? You could have been in military school right now. I'm Jesus. Like, do I care more about him being thrown in jail or that he's making me look like an idiot? He's my son. That's what makes it so difficult, right? Because if he was just like, even if he was Peter, my best friend, I'd be like, you're gonna make me look like an idiot. But I feel like I feel like Frank's crossed the line over here. He's literally participating in acts of terrorism as far as I'm concerned. Shadow Wolf once is okay. Once is okay, buddy. You know, I think I'm already so upset at the way Monica's kind of betrayed me that I think I've had it. I've had it up to here. You can envision how hand my high is when I say that. Oh, awesome. Hey, glad to hear that, Punkage Singh. I'm glad you're enjoying the Planet Zoo. Are you watching Season 1 or Season 2? If I try to stop him, he'll keep going? I mean, he's gonna keep going either way, right? There's no way I'm going to be able to stop him. None of these options are going to convince him to stop. Care about your son, says Robogold. Honestly, I should... A slap, Halthor? Where's the cane? Do I think he cares about how he makes me look? That's the question. That's the question. What? You'll make me look like an idiot. The way things are going now, you don't need my help to look like an idiot. Oh my god. I want to... What the... I want to cut this kid off. I think I'm going to go with 3 over here. 2 or 3. 2 or 3. What do you guys think? Something can happen to you, son, and I may not be able to help you. Is like... a little soft. He is my kid, but he ain't acting like it right now. If you have a problem with the way I'm doing things, take it up with me in person. Is like a, you know, reasonable thing. But honestly, like, I would cut him off. I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm not paying your tuition anymore. To quote Wickles, ya little shit. For real, what the hell, man? I mean, now, again, out of character, I totally get where he's coming from. But in character, stop protesting. Or I'll personally order Carl to go over there and beat the shit out of every last one of you. Fine, fine, I'll stop. Just don't hurt my friends. The doorbell rang. Serge was here with my pizza. Alright. Christ's sake, man. I'm legitimately livid about Frank right now. Good catching up with you, Frank. Right. Right. I have to go. Try calling your mother tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Bye, Dad. We both hung up. I let Serge in, and the pizza he'd brought was gargantuan. Serge, would you like to join me for dinner? There's an Anrika FC game today. I could use a goddamn friend right now. It would be an honor to watch your team together, sir. I brought the pizza into the living room and opened the 2 beers. Serge and I sat down and ate together by the flickering light of the television. The match was already halfway through. Unfortunately, FC Anrika was losing 2-1 to FC Gelsord. I changed the channel. Well, it's only halfway through. Why would you change the channel? You can't jinx your team like that. What? What's happening today, man? What's happening today? You don't change the channel on your team. Halfway through is nothing. It takes 2 minutes for a game of football to go from one end to the other. From one team winning to the other team winning. 2-1 is not... Man. Everyone's betraying me, even myself right now. What the hell? Who changes the channel halfway through a game? Who changes the channel halfway through a game? Oh my god, I am an idiot. Anton is an idiot. Oh my god. Just watch the game. Don't jinx your team like that. Alright, okay, hold on. I was not ready for this level of just betrayal today. I was expecting some news about the terrorist attacks and all that. I wasn't expecting to terrorize myself. Emptied prisons. Our prisons are empty thanks to welfare improvements and the implementation of capital punishment. Oh, there it is. I was like, welfare improvements. I don't remember welfare improvements and the implementation of capital punishment. There it is. That's why we have emptied prisons. Jesus Christ. Anton is such an asshole in this run. He really is, Sergio. He really is. I'm glad we've embraced it. Oh, hey, good spot. I didn't notice that. Yes, the economy's back up. That's what you get for threatening to beat your kids' friends up, I guess. Halthor, basically. That's basically how I felt, man. Jesus. Hey, CJ, how's it going, man? Having a good one, I hope. Man. Wow. See, because in our last playthrough, when we had our conversation with Frank, he liked us at least, you know? Even though we sent him to military school, he liked us, and he, like, understood, and he was learning discipline. Here's the flip side. Set him off to university to get an education, and look what's happened to him. Look what's happened to him. Alright, let's work outside in to see the situation at Narble first. Police overwhelmed in remote cities. What happened to my budget? Last session, we've passed a couple of bills that would help us make... it would help us look better in the public eye. I forget exactly which one it was because I don't think Anton's caring much for policy these days. But there have been a couple of things that we've passed that have helped us hopefully look better in the public eye. This was because we invested in the military-industrial complex, and that might actually be what's bumped up our economy. Either that, or has this... Yes, Conriat's upgrade is finally completed. The agricultural zone has finally been completed. The industrial zone. Agricultural is down over here. The industrial zone has finally been completed, so that might be a part of it. And look, our economy is looking good, and that's promising. That's promising, at least. Goddamn. Alright, sounds good, CJ. Well, I'm glad you can make it, bud. Okay, Percy, how goes? Rain train is a crazy train. That's the truth, man. I don't know if we're not gonna be trialing Saul in this playthrough because we like Saul in this playthrough. We like Saul. All right. Since the deployment of the police forces to combat the unrest, many attacks have occurred in remote cities. Ambushes are rampant, and the security forces are being pushed back. Police stations and patrols were the main targets of the militants. Unless reinforcements are provided, the current forces are not enough to control the situation. Well, we did invest in the police, right? So hopefully they're able to do something about this. Down at Suzerain, police ready for operation. What happened to the terrorist attack? Are we just... Oh, it's ongoing. Police forces have encircled the rebels' positions in Saul Dam, and they are ready for their orders. Our Special Operations Unit has reported that they are using their best men to ensure their success. The operation has 3 main objectives: search, secure, and destroy. The expected start time will be sundown tonight. Oh, here we go, baby. Here we go. Here we go. Shadow Wolf, we don't know if war is necessarily going to happen, because you can try to avoid it using diplomacy, but it should be... It might be this session, it might be next session, but it's definitely... It's en route for sure. Supreme Council of Radio and TV bans content. Supreme Council of Swordish Radio and Television announced a ban on HOS TV's talk show program Sweaty Talk and the comedy show Gotta Live With It for making dangerous anti-government propaganda and inciting conflict within society. Okay, Gotta Live With It sounds like a hilarious, like, anti-government TV series. Gotta Live With It. It's like every episode the government comes up with some new draconian law, and you get your group of 4 or 5 friends having to just deal with it. You know what? If it was well written, I might watch that show. What's happening up over here at Antel? Capital punishment takes 319 lives. They don't count as lives. With a new law enacted, a total of 319 prisoners were sent to the firing range for the crimes they have committed. A further 90 cases, which are punishable by death, are pending review and are expected to be resolved soon. It's Gotta Live With It featuring Frank. Literally when he comes home for, like, I don't know, summer break or whatever. There are other countries, yes. It does go beyond just your own country, and you deal with everything from trade deals to, again, talk of war, to talk of border disputes, all sorts of stuff. It's a very densely packed game. Private prisons increase revenue. Excellent. I wonder, well, that wouldn't help our economy, because they're private prisons. I mean, I guess if they're paying tax and stuff. Yeah, Sweaty Talk. I'm not sure about that. Is that well, what is Sweaty Talk? It sounds like garbage TV. It sounds like, oh yeah, we interview important political guests, except the heat is on, literally. You know, like some garbage like that. Do I have the presidential edition? That's a good question. I did not know there were multiple editions of this game. I'll be completely frank with you. So I'll check after the stream. All right. With new private prisons running, many wealthy inmates have requested to be transferred to those prisons. We're already expecting to see a substantial amount of revenue being generated from the prisons. Very well. That's how law works, I suppose. Industrial Zone opens. The Conriat Industrial Zone has opened to the public. Long lines of factory workers are waiting in line to apply for the new opportunities. The opening is expected to increase the industrial output of Conriat by 40%. As per the reports, industrial workers from nearby cities are also migrating, creating an influx of jobs and investments. That's got to be what's bumped up our economy. That's got to be good for us, right? That's got to be a good look for our administration, I imagine. Let's take a look at the news before we dive into our events. The Hall Sword Post has this to say. Let's start with the oldest news first. Long road to safety. President Rain has taken impossible steps to keep Sordland safe. There are threats raging all around our country, and he has proven to be the only man to stand up to the challenge. Facing an impossible situation, the Maroon Palace today announced the state of emergency will continue. There's no doubt this is hard news for all, but President Anton Rain only has Sordland's best interests at heart. The choices he has made are for our greater good. Whilst time passes under a national emergency, remember all that Sordland has been through in the past. The long coup, the civil war, an unending recession. It's leadership like our president's that keeps us strong and moving forward. Perfect timing with that cheer as Harry becomes a channel member, upgrading his membership to a warden. Harry, again, thank you so much for the support you've been providing already, and now taking it up a notch. I appreciate it greatly, buddy. Folks, throw up those banners, throw up those E's. Let us celebrate the change in rank from Harry there. You know, I didn't... another surprise from YouTube. They've I'm pretty sure that's a new thing. Though upgrades don't often happen in the middle of a stream, so I don't know if that's new or if that's an old feature. But either way, thank you very much, Harry. I do appreciate it. Support at all levels makes a massive difference, and I do greatly appreciate it. Wendiga X. I added an extra, and they're by mistake. Thank you very much for subscribing. Hope you're enjoying the show. If you are, again, you know what to do. Let me know down below, folks. Again, if you're just having a good time, let me know down below. And Leopoldo Navarez, thank you as well for subscribing again. Hope you're enjoying, buddy. How's it going, Harry? Having a good one, I hope. All right, that's Long Road to Safety. A lady's bill struck down. Oh no, for shame. Oh, it's too bad. Families in Sordland can breathe easier as a controversial Women's Liberation Act proposed by Minister of Education Ciara Walda with the blessing of First Lady Monica Rain completely failed to pass. This bill, which would have upended Sordish traditional values by forcing undue burdens on women in the name of equality, was supported by the president but struck down in the assembly, showing Anton Rain who wears the trousers in this government. See, that's unfortunate. It's been... Hold on a second. I thought I pay these guys to stay active. I thought I keep these guys alive. They should have spun this in my favor. They should have spun this in my favor. This should have been spun like, oh, you know, Anton Rain helped teach the ladies of the administration a valuable lesson or something like that, you know, in the realities of politics and why it's where men reign supreme or some nonsense, you know, something like that. Come on. What the hell, man? What the hell? Bob, buddy, thank you very much for subscribing as well. Again, hope you're having a good time. And a good call, Caper. See, over 30 people watching. At the time, it was less than 13 likes, but right around 17 or so likes. If you're having a good time, folks, let me know. It just helps me make decisions on the channel, right? Election campaign ramps up across Sordland. The election campaigning efforts have started to pick up speed across Sordland. To become the 5th president of Sordland, the candidates began delivering their speeches at rallies and conventions while the party flags were flying in major cities. The campaign centers are busy with scheduling and organizing events. The exciting times of election are approaching. In the majority of the cities, USP appears to be the most prominent, whereas PFJP follows behind along with NFP. It will be thrilling to see the presidential race renew once again for the fast-approaching elections. See, I'm curious again. The PFJP, because we threw their previous leader in jail, it is no longer led by Franz Richter. It is now led by, oh, her name doesn't show up over here. I mean, that should tell you something, right? What is her name? Party leaders, Fethi Ejal, I believe. No, not Fethi Ejal. Where is her name? Anyway, there's a woman in charge of the PFJP now, and I was talking about this last session as well. But it would make sense in the context of our current, like, you know, politics and all that, for them to lose some popularity just for that purpose, right? It's that era, right? We're in the pseudo 50s. It would make sense for people to be like, oh, I don't think we're ready for you know, women don't belong in government and all that kind of stuff. So I would imagine that would give us a bit of an edge, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Lackhaven Times. Not even Volkslandian fire can stop us. The industrial city of Conriad is officially completed. The city is expected to soon rival Lackhaven due to the newly diversified and expanded manufacturing industry. The mayor of Conriad, Chris Scarr, expressed his utmost gratitude for the investment the president put into the city. In his statement, the president had made an excellent choice in investing in the city that had stood the test of time. The people of Conrad are hard-working and resilient. Not even Volkslandian fire can stop us from being great. With the new factories, Conrad will single-handedly bring Sordland out of the recession. The mayor has decided to host a horse race with only locally bred Sarod horses to celebrate the grand opening ceremony. I like it. I love it. Very, very nationalistic with that capital N. Oh man. But this is good. This is promising. Economy's looking good. Budget's looking all right. This is good. Human dignity bill. Oh my God. What is this nonsense now? What is this nonsense now? Humans have dignity? Come on. What are you talking about? The newly proposed bill will amend Section 3 of the 1923 Legal Transactions Act that allowed the legalization of transactions which occur in non-registered businesses or other entities like single persons if the parties delivered accurate documentation to the financial authority. This created a legal loophole for prostitution. The Human Dignity Bill will protect common decency and prevent the violation of moral principles that occur in the act of prostitution by making it an illegal offense in which perpetrators are punishable by law. So here's the thing. If I'm calling myself a traditionalist, just how much of a traditionalist am I, right? Prostitution is one of the oldest jobs in the world. I think we should allow it to be legal. I think we should. Well, the funny thing is, Spindle. The funny thing is that I feel like this loophole. I'm assuming, just based on stuff references, I guess. I'm assuming that the loophole is actually against our tradition, right? But I think the reality of it is, I think tradition or not, I think at this point in time, Anton is thinking purely about re-election, and he's probably thinking, you know what? I don't care about the petty things, about these problems. I need to hold on to some government budget. That's what I think Anton would legitimately be thinking. It's no longer about policy right now. We're on the lead up to election season. It's no longer about policy. We're on the lead up to election season. That should tell you everything you need to know about election campaigns. Because it's not about policy. It's about how we position ourselves, right? So I think we should veto this. We should save that money, use it for something else. Yeah, this would cost us to get rid of the legal loophole, I guess. I think we'll veto this. I think we'll veto this. Wickles, that's unfair. And the men. But yeah, we'll veto this. We need the money. The Human Dignity Bill. I love it. Every time a bill has like a very uplifting sounding name, it's usually problematic. Yes, veto. I will not be signing that. Thank you very much. Keep Peter happy. The art of seduction shall be left to be exploited to take money. I mean, it's a little different. It's a little different. But no, for real, I don't think I can afford to lose budget any further than we already have. What do we have? A discussion on the current internal affairs. Please tell me how everything's going swimmingly. I could use some good news. Before I get into this, folks, I need a quick sip of water over here. Give me a quick second over here. Yeah, I guess, Gay Percy. But let's be real here. The laws don't apply to politicians. Doesn't matter either way. Satan Slayer, how's it going, buddy? Glad you could join in. Who needs a budget? Yeah, for real. A storm was on the horizon outside my window. Well, ain't that a metaphor? The mood in my office was equally dark, and a storm of a different kind was brewing inside, and the metaphor delivers within one sentence. I straightened myself on the sofa and looked at Carl, who was sitting on the couch across from me, ready to give me the report from the Saul Dam. Sir, the operation has been successful. The governor has been taken out of the dam unharmed, and the armed rebels at the scene were eliminated. Thanks to the well-planned operation of the Secret State Police, we suffered 0 casualties. He puffed himself up. Also, one of the rebels who died at the operation was identified to be their current leader. We'll soon eradicate their group completely, Mr. President. Have no worries. At this very moment, our special teams are raiding numerous suspected BFF hideouts to find the smaller groups before they can reorganize. Yo, that's great. That's great. It could have gone a lot worse. That could have gone a lot worse. That's fantastic. All right, great work, Carl. Give him some props. I think is not a bad idea. But good, I want them all gone for good. Give that directive. Wipe them out, all of them. Yeah, the secret police, man, pulling their weight. Let's give some positive reinforcement over here. We don't need this guy not liking us, you know. Carl coming through indeed. Great work, Carl. Great work, Carl. Thank you, sir. Does he have anything else to report? Was there anything else? That's all for now, sir. I'll get going. He stood up, bowed, and left the room. I kind of wish I gave him the order, but it's okay. It's important for us to get status reports in full, right? So I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything there. But that was, yeah, that's excellent. Come on, that's got to look good for our administration, right? Handling terrorists, our economy's good, and I saw the question get brought up. Yeah, the government budget versus our personal wealth are two very different things. They're two very different things. Rumburg plane warned inside airspace. Oh, damn. Here we go. A lone Rumburgian warplane violated our airspace by entering the territory of Sordland for 2 minutes and left after issuing a radio message. Things are heating up over here. We want to talk about storms brewing. Things are really heating up over here. What do we have over here? Blutish protests quelled. Yeah, that's one way to put it. The Blutish protests have been subdued across the country. Yo, this is actually, I mean, things are actually looking up. I wouldn't expect it to, but things are actually looking up. What does the news have to say? The Hallsword Post, successful dam operation. Felix Braun, the governor of Bergia, was saved from the Blutish Freedom Front militants who had occupied the Saal Dam by Sordish police. All BFF militants were eliminated, including their suspected leader in the operation executed by Chief of Police Karl Grieser. The government officials reported that the dam had been cleared of militants and the area around Suzerain is secured. According to the statement from the Interior Ministry, Felix Braun was unharmed during the operation and is currently under the protection of the ministry. The incident became the second major security incident to take place in Bergia in the last couple of weeks. Vice Governor of Bergia issued a statement to the residents of Bergia, urging them to exercise vigilance following the attack. Exercise discretion and stay away from all gatherings and be cautious when moving around in areas that are heavily populated by Blutish people, he added. Oh no. oh no. Geopolitical. Volksland blockades Helgeland. According to reports coming from Helgeland, the island is under complete blockade by Volkslandian Navy. I'm just dropping articles all day today. By the Volkslandian Navy. 6 ships that transported goods to the island were forced to retreat when the Volkslandian fleet fired at them. Oh, damn. Things are really escalating. Things are really escalating around that island. It seems Chancellor Hegel decided to send troops into Helgeland and seize control of the island. But why does Helgeland matter to Volksland? Located in the middle of the Markian Sea, Helgeland has strong historical and cultural ties with Volksland. It was Volkslandian territory before it was annexed by Agnolia years ago, and one of the pretexts of this upcoming invasion by Volksland has been to defend its citizens in Helgeland. But Helgeland's strategic importance goes a lot further. The port of Helgiport, home of the Markian Sea fleet, is vital to Volksland's power in the Markian Sea and beyond. Of course, there is also a large group of Volgish living in Helgeland who see the island as part of Volksland. The Volkslandian nationalists have always been vocal about seeing the island as an integral part of their country. Yo, that's wild. Things are actually really heating up. So Volksland has invaded Helgeland over here, taking control, or trying to take control away from Magnolia. They've blockaded it, and yeah, they're trying to hold on to it. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I think this incident, Spindle, absolutely should justify our emergency, right? Like, look, we saw this coming. That's why we made an emergency. Like, that's why we declared a state of emergency, because of the bubbling hatred, right? And we saw this coming, and now we've acted, and there's more to come. So we can't end the state of emergency yet. But now, do you trust us? Like, I feel like that's the angle here, right? Dito Inchiarte, I hope I pronounced that correctly, buddy. Thank you very much for subscribing. Again, I hope you're having a good time. If you are, you know what to do. Well, let me know down below. And yeah, we're pretty wealthy. I would say like 2 personal wealth, I think it was enough to pay for a child's entire tuition at a private institute. So like, you know, 4 is decently wealthy. I don't know. There's no scale, I think, to personal to wealth. But government budget and wealth work on 2 different scales, and I'm not exactly sure how rich I am. I'm rich enough to be able to buy a football team, right? So that's pretty wealthy. All right, what do we have over here? Fund a political youth group. I don't have, unless it's my personal wealth, I don't have that kind of money. Fair Luxury Tax Act, Alcohol Tax Act. More money for the government, right? Let's see. The Fair Luxury Tax Act. The Assembly proposes an amendment to Section 6 of the Tax Code of 1949. The FLTA seeks to improve the fairness of the taxation system and increase tax revenues. Section 1 sets a 15% tax rate which will be imposed on items of the luxury goods class determined by the Ministry of Economy. This encompasses jewelry, furs, sports cars, yachts, private planes. Section 2 of the amendment will establish a 10% estate tax for the conditions of purchase, sale, and transfer of property, in particular in inheritance situations. I think we signed this. It's a huge plus, too. It's a huge plus, too. Luxuries are for us, not for the people. Luxuries are for us. So I think we signed this one. And again, if the Assembly passes something, that by and large typically means that our party is behind it. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to have our party be on our side for once, you know. I think we should sign luxury. I think we should sign luxury and the sin tax as well. Because it'll help our government budget. Right, that's like right off the bat, that's important. But also, I think it embodies the whole, rules for thee, not for me, or whatever. I'm the president. None of this matters to me. It's everybody beneath me, and it's a good way of punching back at some of the people who think of themselves as puppet masters. You know. Oh, Shadow Wolf, sorry, buddy. What did I miss? I thought I got your question there. How rich is party? I tried to answer that as best as possible. Let's go ahead and sign this. Good stuff. Government budget's looking good. Now let's take a look at the alcohol tax as well. I mean, I call it the sin tax, but similar enough. The GNA proposes the ATA to socially deter the excessive amount of alcohol consumption that has arisen in the general populace and to increase tax revenues. Section 1 will impose a 20% tax on the sale of all alcohol products sold in the country, and Section 2 makes local alcohol production that is destined for export exempt from taxation. Oh, hello. Section 3 establishes a 25% import tax on foreign alcohol products, which come from countries that have no trade regulations imposed on these types of goods. Again, makes sense, right? Because who will this affect? This will affect the impoverished. And how much does Anton Rain care about the impoverished? Sign that. Exactly, it keeps our people healthy. Alcohol is a sin. We shouldn't be, imbuing in it too much. Imbibing? Doesn't matter. I'm too drunk to get the right word. But either way, I mean, again, it doesn't affect us, right? So it's so easy for us to sign these bills and make us look good. But now our economy is apparently taking a hit. What the hell, man? It's like I can't have both. When did that happen? I think it went by unnoticed. You can't. I mean, you can build stuff, yes, Shadow, but not like a traditional strategy game. In this game, your ministers will propose like airports and seaports and industrial zones or agricultural zones or highways. We built a high-speed train track in this run through, for example. In our previous playthrough, we built a highway, but it's all based on the proposals that come from your ministers. It's not like a traditional strategy game where you click on a city and you say build, I don't know, a barracks or whatever, right? No, Shadow Wolf, I'm not actually. I'm just making a reference to Anton drinking while signing the sin tax. Yeah, what happened there, man? From 5 to 2, what the hell? Budget goes up, economy goes down. Make it make sense. The Hall Sword Post. Luxury is now taxable. The Assembly has signed an amendment known as the Fair Luxury Tax Act. This bold choice seeks to impose a tax hike on personal items, including jewelry, coats, and cars. Believing that necessary products or loving gifts are all considered luxury products is the hard reality we are facing under the Rain administration, as they're determined to steal your hard-earned money out from under you. Oh. We gotta shut this guy down. That's 2 articles now where he's not spun things in my favor. Over here showing Anton Rain who wears the trousers in this government, and over here saying we're trying to steal their hard-earned money. Oh yeah, people aren't happy about me taxing goods. I mean, I guess I understand it's affecting our economy because people are shopping less, but like that much less to go from 5 to 2 or whatever it was. Like, come on, that's a huge hit. How many people are living in luxury right now in this country, right? Like, come on. Let's be real. Let's be real. Reign to put a lid on alcohol consumption. The Grand National Assembly has signed the Alcohol Tax Act to deter the excessive amount of alcohol consumption that has recently been plaguing Sordland. Drunk and disorderly youths will quickly learn that their actions have consequences, and they will soon be paying a further 20% tax on all alcohol products in the country. We gotta shut the Hallsort Post down, though. I'm not liking their newfound tone. This is after we helped them out, you know? Fun political youth group. I'm not gonna spend money on. I mean, geez, you know, this is interesting. This is interesting. Well, those that aren't buying things, and the rest couldn't afford them in the first place. I mean, the thing, it's just like, come on. The wealthy, I'm sure, can afford the extra 20% tax on luxury items specifically. Anyway, it is what it is. It's. Are we back to square one as far as this session is concerned, or were we at 1 pip at the beginning of this session for economy? Fund political. I mean, the possibility of funding a political youth group has arisen. This could serve us to extend our ideological reach and even boost our election efforts. The presidency would privately funnel a large amount of government funds to the youth wing in exchange for loyalty and support. I mean, I think it might help. I think it might help. Because this is like, oh my god, this is really dark. But it's basically funding a very a group that's open to violence, and it would you know, if they have their presence be made known at, let's say, voting booths, or in and around. Whoops, Streamlabs crashed on me there. You see, I've been patient with Streamlabs with all their crashing and stuff for the last little while, but stuff that came out this last week was the last straw. So I'm glad to have a full-on reason now to move away from the constant crashing. If you're still seeing lag on the stream, then hit that refresh button. But we should be back here. And yeah, Halthor. I mean, that's pretty much it, Halthor. Yeah, like. Sorry. That's the angle that's being suggested over here. Why is my apologies for all the noise coming in and out, the music coming in and out, folks. Just reorganizing some windows here so I can actually see chat. Let's do it. Let's do it. Sure. Let's fund the young swords. Just take that budget right back. Sure. We can operate at a slight deficit. We can always operate at a slight deficit. What does the news have to say? The Lackhaven Times. Young Swords memberships double. Oh, wow. How? That's strange. According to recent activities, there seems to be an increase in Young Swords members. Thus far, we estimate that the amount of Young Swords members has doubled. After the interview with the group spokesperson, he confirmed the news. He stated, "We are receiving lots of donations from citizens across the country. This is a massive grassroots movement. Hard-working swords are asking for their rights. We are their voice against the plague of Malinyevism and the aliens from neighboring countries." Jesus. Yet, many suspect that the NFP is funding the Young Swords. Many else conspire that it was the president himself that backed the group. That's nice. The NFP is the nationalist party, so it's nice that we have a bit of a scapegoat, I suppose. Oh, there it is. Did I not call it, folks? Did I not call it? Young Swords promise to protect ballots. There it is. With the election looming on the horizon, the Young Swords organization rallied its members to voting places across Sordland. With the threat of Malinyevism and neighboring countries trying to intervene in our election, we need to unite against them. They are amassing to try and take our democracy when we are at the lowest, during a recession. The Young Swords, an organization that has always been fighting for a strong Sordland, with them protecting our democracy, we will be able to maintain the values that our founder, Tarkin Saul, fought all those years ago. Fought for all. This article is one of those not well-written ones. A lot of missing words here and there. I thought I was reading it wrong. That just called it. I absolutely called it. In a way, I hate that I was able to predict that. But here we are. T.Y. Johnson, thank you very much for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying the show. If you are, again, let me know down below. Hit that like button. Sergio LP, sounds good, buddy. Thanks for dropping by. Hope you had a good time, and hope you're able to catch the rest of it in the VOD. Have yourself a wonderful Friday, buddy. And if I don't catch you over the weekend or anything, enjoy the weekend. I'll catch you next time. But yeah, this is going exactly as I guess intended. Young swords promise to protect ballots. It's beautiful, beautiful. It's predictable in the darkest way. Yeah, if you're still having struggles with the stream, then hit refresh, Shadow. We're all green lights on this end. Alright. Emergency call on an escalating situation. This has got to be the border situation, right? Oh, there's that music. I was woken up in the middle of the night by a call from the Ministry of Defense. Due to the sensitivity of the information, I had to be urgently briefed in person. I put on my clothes as fast as I could. I rushed downstairs and opened the door. Serge was waiting for me. Mr. President, this way to the car, please. We got into the car and made our way to the Ministry of Defense building without a word. I arrived and was directed downstairs, came to a set of large doors and quickly read the sign above them. The sign read, War Room. The dimly lit room was filled with cutting-edge equipment, the latest video screens, long-range radio electronics, and other devices used for communication, presentation, and planning. The centerpiece of the room was a large round table with the coat of arms of Sordland engraved on it. David, Lucian, Vulcan, and Joseph were already deep in discussion. Mr. Lancea, I advise caution. Going to war wouldn't help anyone. We must maintain peace in Sordland and Eastern Mercopa at all costs. What do you expect us to do? Sit down and do nothing? They are testing us. We must respond immediately. Otherwise, they will think we are weak. Status report. Now. Mr. President, thank you for coming in at this late hour. There is a situation. Vulcan, please go ahead and provide your report. Mr. President, approximately 20 minutes ago, Rumburg downed one of our planes with anti-aircraft fire from the ground. The pilot was declared KIA. The last recorded position of the plane was inside Swordish airspace. General Kruger, I mean no offense, but are we absolutely sure that is the case? Are you sure this happened within our borders? No offense taken. Here are the locations on the map and the report from the airbase. He pointed to several markers on the map. To answer your question, yes, we are absolutely sure. You can see here on the map that the plane was downed approximately 10 kilometers inside our borders. We have calculated the trajectory of the gunfire, and they started firing when our plane was within our border. The plane was downed near Holger. Here we go. No Peter. Oh, good point. You're right. There is no Peter flak armor. Rumburg is to the north, and they are significantly larger than us and very threatening. We don't have nukes, unfortunately, Halthor. Alright, how dare they? This is an attack against our sovereignty. We need to be cautious. A war with Rumburg is the last thing we want right now. Again, we only have one ally. And again, I call them one ally, but truly I mean half an ally. It's a rogue state, really. Barely in control of itself. Oh, man. Missing Peter is curious as well. Yeah, pretty much, Flesland. Pretty much. Oh, man. Right, we gotta go with 2, right? We gotta go with 2, right? We've been talking about it all this time. It's gonna go terribly. How dare they? This is an attack against our sovereignty. Mr. President, I must insist. We need to be calm. We must maintain peace. I agree. They're trying to lure us into their trap. We have enough military power to contest against this violation of international law. We should attack and down one of their planes in retaliation. Otherwise, we'll look weak, and it'll lead to more casualties. We can't look weak. If we appear weak, they will jump on the opportunity. We must order a military retaliation, immediately. I agree with the General. Mr. President, our army is ready to do whatever it takes to protect Sordland. Gentlemen, before it comes to that point, we can prevent further bloodshed by using diplomacy. The room fell silent before Yosef finally spoke up. Mr. President, what are your orders? Oh, man. All right, look. Look, we got to think this through here, because as much as we want to war and warmonger and all that, right? A despot without a nation to rule is no despot. Are we in a position to take Rumburg on, right? So, Rumburg is twice our size. Their military is also about twice our size. It's overwhelming is their military, right? If we had 2 allies, I would go head first into this war. If we had Welland and Lesbia or Welland and Volksland, I'd dive right in. But unfortunately, we only have Welland. And again, these guys are a rogue state, pretty much. Nobody likes them. They have a terrible ruler. They have their own troubles internally. I don't know how well they'd be able to commit. And that's why I call them half an ally. Do we really think we can take Rumburg on, folks? Do we really think we can take them on? I'm seeing a couple calls for 2. I'm thinking 2 makes sense. An eye for an eye. Retaliate with equal force to display our strength. We can't afford to look weak. The thing is, it'll obviously, as far as the international scene is concerned, people won't like us all that much. But I think our action is justified, right? Starting the Swordish war machine and preparing to invade, I think, is foolish. That's going too far. And while I do believe in Sordland, I also would like to retain control of it. I think we go with 2. And I see a lot of calls for 2 as well in chat. I think we go with 2. An eye for an eye. You know, they take one of our planes down. We take one of their planes down. We show them we mean business. They back down. They look like cowards in front of us. An eye for an eye. We will retaliate with equal force to display our strength. Sordland can't afford to look weak. Very well. If there is to be a retaliation, we need to be extremely careful. They will seek every opportunity to blame us for it. We can't further escalate the situation and destabilize the region. We need to prevent a war at all costs. I'm saying this as a man who has lived through too many years of war. We're not the ones who escalated the situation. Well, they were first. Mr. President, I assure you, they wouldn't dare attack us for that. They know that we are far superior. Oh, Joseph. This will send a strong message. I will send word for the start of a military operation. Our target will be their warplanes at an airbase near the border. I still think a peaceful solution would be more beneficial, but of course I don't have the military experience and insight Mr. Lancea has. I will begin my task immediately, Mr. President. If you will excuse me now, I must talk to the military command to relay the orders. Before he left the room, he saluted. I will bring the paperwork. Joseph returned with the paperwork for the orders and showed me where to sign. I signed off on the operation. Now that the paperwork is done, I have an idea, Mr. President. I think we should hold a military parade to display our strength. Oh. I am with Mr. Lancea on this one. This should work well as a deterrent, and it will come in handy as a tool to de-escalate the situation. That is a good idea. Simple and effective without causing any ruckus. That makes sense. Organize a military parade. We've invested in our military-industrial complex. We've invested in our military overall. We've modernized our military. We've invested in our air force. This makes perfect sense. Organize a military parade. Understood. That is all, Mr. President. I will keep you updated on the situation. For now, have a good night's sleep. You will need it. I couldn't sleep at all that night. Yo, this is exciting. I mean, look, we have a recently developed Air Force, right? Recently upgraded Air Force to pop across the border and strike at a military air base. We should be able to pull it off, right? I'm sure our bombing capabilities have improved significantly. We should be able to pull this off. I think we'll make it work. And hopefully the parade shows our strength. It almost certainly won't. Swordish plane shot down. A Swordish airplane has been shot down by Rumburgian anti-aircraft guns, allegedly for violating Rumburgian airspace. Government officials said the airplane was shot inside the airspace of Sordland. Our plane was shot down when it was flying near Halgan over the territory of Sordland by an anti-aircraft missile. Our pilot did not threaten Rumburg in any way, said Joseph Lancea, the Minister of Defense. Despite the revealed evidence from Swordish officials, the Queen of Rumburg, Beatrice Livingston, had the guts to claim that our plane was shot for violating their airspace. This is truly a heinous act purposefully done by our rivals in the north. This tragic event will have severe consequences for Sordland-Rumburg relations. Urgent meeting on potential alliances. Oh, hang on a second. What's going on here? Oh no, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be the superpowers stepping in, being like, hey, you need us? And we're gonna have to say no. Because to hell with the superpowers. To hell with the superpowers. Swoosh Kid, how's it going, buddy? Having a good one, I hope? Enjoying your Friday? Alright, let's see. Let's see what it is. I was sitting right across from David in the White Room after he scheduled an urgent meeting. I knew that the matter must have been serious. He insisted on waiting for Yosef and Lucien, so we did. Lucien entered the room with Yosef by his side. Mr. President, we came as fast as we could. Mr. President? Mr. Whiskey? What's going on? David cleared his throat. Welcome, everyone. Due to the potential ramifications, I wanted everyone to be present for this meeting. We've received an envoy from the United Contana. They're requesting a state visit. Judging from the current climate, it is not hard to see what this is about. CSP is always trying to expand its influence after all. It will most likely try to convince us to join. In addition, as part of this state visit, Leon Malinyev will, of course, meet with you in person, Mr. President. Okay, this is interesting. So the CSP is the equivalent of the USSR, if you will, and United Contana is... sorry. I always do this in this game. The CSP is the equivalent of the Warsaw Pact in this game, and United Contana is the equivalent of the USSR. Oh man, we have been ardently anti-communist in this playthrough, right? So this is kind of it's interesting because it's different from last time. It's different from the previous playthrough, but it's still similar in that we had those conversations, right? So I'm trying to figure this out because while we're against them politically, and I won't sign any sort of pact or treaty with them, we could still have a conversation to see if there's something for us to gain, retain our non-aligned position, and give them, very little. Shadow Wolf, the superpowers. So the superpowers are United Contana and Arcasia. United Contana is, again, the USSR equivalent, and Arcasia is the United States equivalent. Yeah, I think meeting might scare Roomberg a bit, might make them, even if nothing comes of it, Roomberg might be a little hesitant to take action. That's a good point as well, yeah. And we should be opportunistic, right? Exactly. If he wants to give us something, great. If he wants to ask for something in return, we'll see what it is and we'll consider it. If he wants alignment, not a chance. We're non-aligned and it's going to stay that way. So there's a lot we could gain from this visit. Having an extra ally also wouldn't hurt. And again, non-alignment has worked for some countries in the real world. Hopefully we can make it work for us in this world. With all due respect. Are you out of your mind? Mr. Lancea. I did not say anything. This is madness. We cannot even consider accepting this. I bet he will come asking us for cooperation under the guise of enforcing their demands to join the CSP. This will antagonize half of the world against us, and we're going to be at the forefront of the battle. If you're approaching this from the perspective of national defense, then don't. We're in a better shape than we were ever before. I assure you, we don't need any outside help, definitely not from Leon Malinyev. We'll make do somehow. Oh, man. I mean, I understand where he's coming from, and I admire his passion, but he doesn't see the bigger picture. Let's see what he wants first. I will decide when I talk to him. I mean, again, I trust his judgment and our troops as well, but we need to be careful. Mr. Whiskey, rely a lot on you as you are an expert in your field with a proven track record. What's your take on this? What do you think is the right action? Roomberg is bound to increase diplomatic pressure in the upcoming AN meeting. Back channels are reporting rumors about Queen Beatrice Livingston meeting with military leaders in Thornborough. Oh no. I'm afraid it might not be possible to stand against Roomberg without strong allies. Soon, we will have to take a side in this global rivalry to avert a potential conflict with Roomberg. And I recently found out of a planned meeting between the Queen and President Walker of Arcasia. The CSP and Chairman Malinyev might be the necessary evil to stop worse things from happening. I say we should consider this offer very seriously. Alright, Lucien, what do you think? We heard our experts. You're the one who has to decide, sir. Accept their offer, I assume they mean an offer to meet, right? We haven't had an offer of joining or anything, right? I want to make sure that I haven't missed anything, chat. If I say accept their offer, that's their offer to meet, right? Yeah, Rumberg and Arcasia working together would be very bad for us. Arcasia, previously in this playthrough, and in the previous one as well, were testing their ICBM capabilities, and they can hit the water around us, which means they can hit us. So, not a good situation to be in. Not a good situation to be in. I would assume it's just to meet. So yeah, very well. Accept their offer. I will send our response immediately. Then there is a tiny detail we need to get over with. How should we welcome their delegation, sir? A military welcome, perhaps? A plain welcome? Or as extravagant as you can. We need to impress them. I don't think they'll be impressed by extravagance. I think, I think we go with a plain welcome. Showing them our might. I mean, again, they're a superpower, right? They'll scoff at it. You guys think so? You know what? You're right. You guys are right. You're right. Because it doesn't matter how small or big we are in comparison to their military strength. We'd still try and show up ours, right? Yeah, you guys are right. A military welcome is in order. They need to see our might. Flak cannons firing on either side of their plane as it lands. A military welcome. As you wish. I have taken a note. I think that is all for today. Thank you all for attending. As we dispersed, the world map hanging on the wall in the room caught my attention. I walked over to it. How often were the lines on the world map redrawn over the recent decades? What about the future? Deep. Dr. Vegapunk21, how's it going, buddy? Didn't catch you earlier, so I'm sorry if I missed you earlier. How goes? Ricky Cool, glad you can make it. Having a good day, I hope. Nostrovia. CJ, Tovarish. Indeed, we're leading into our KGB playthrough. It's still funny for me to think about Phantom Doctrine and how that's when Zdravstvuyte Tovarish began as a thing for me to say for all my Soviet-themed playthroughs. Yeah, exactly. So a despot always shows off his guns even if they are small. There's a quote right there. There's a quote right there. State visit of Chairman Malinyev. Oh wow, it's happening right away. We're moving fast today. We're getting a lot done today. The door of the pitch-black sedan opened and flashes went off. The famous ideologue, leader of United Contana, and the head of CSP, Leon Malinyev, came out of the car, smiling and waving at the enormous crowd that gathered. It was not every day the leader of Contana came to visit Sordland. He was wearing his usual political uniform, grayish-green trousers and a tunic with a soft turned-down collar, which was famed for its simplistic look. Next to the maroon carpet to the palace, Sordish troops were lined up. Sordish warplanes flew above our heads, painting the sky with the colors of the Sordish flag. As soon as Leon Malinyev stepped on the carpet, all of our soldiers performed a hard salute. Celebratory gunshots were fired, trumpets started playing a Sordish march. Together with Monica, we walked over to meet him in the middle. Finally, I was in reaching distance to one of the most powerful men in the world. I'm always in reaching distance to myself. We both looked at each other and shook hands. Welcome to Sordland. What a welcome, Mr. Rain. He turned to Monica and shook her hand. It is nice to meet you, Mrs. Rain. Likewise, Chairman Malinyev. Welcome to Sordland. On the way to the entrance, we stopped in front of General Vulcan, who was in charge of the troops. Malinyev smiled and saluted Vulcan and the soldiers. They saluted back. As soon as our inspection finished, we entered the palace. I don't think your army needs all these extravagant shows while the situation around the region is showing the symptoms of a global conflict. War is not a show business. I feel like Leon would complain either way, man. I feel like Leon would complain either way. Dude's just... Look at that face. That's the face of a man who's just looking to complain. He looked at me with a blank face. As I was trying to formulate my words in response, he placed his hand on my shoulder and laughed. What is this like? This is a despot. What the hell is going on right now? He's just jealous of our nice guns. Hell yeah. I guess I'll laugh as well, because he's just joking. Jesus, I don't... What the hell, man? I tried to laugh with him. We're trying to be friendly, right? If I keep a straight face while he's laughing, it'll be very awkward. We then started walking towards the reception hall in the palace. Our path was cleared of people at once. He looked at the extraordinary interior design of the Maroon Palace. Statues, paintings, and various ornaments filled both sides of the corridor. What a palace. He pointed at one of the statues in the corner as we walked. It was white marble sculpted representation of Albrecht Renan, the founder of the Renan aristocracy. Was he the one? The original owner of this place? Yes, it was built as a summer residence. As far as I know, he didn't use it as much. It was Saul who transformed this place. His name is Albrecht Renan, Chairman Malinyev, and yes, he was. That seems a little, passive-aggressive. I don't know, it's just a statue to me. No. I'd say, yeah, he's into history, right? Sure, why not? Why not? Flak armor. Literally unwatchable in game mode. The old Slavic kind of humor, where you just like talk smack and then just laugh. So it's a familiar form of humor. Yeah, sure. You know what? You're right. You're right, chat. Three feels a bit more. There's a bit more national pride in that. Pride in our history. His name is Albrecht Renan, Chairman Malinyev, and yes, he was. Oh yes, Renan. I thought when Tarkin Sol came to power, he worked towards removing the Republic's connection to its feudal past. It is interesting that he removed the images of the last kings, but not the older figures. Was he fond of the aristocracy or the man? I have no idea. You have to ask him yourself. I believe he was fond of both. He cared a lot about our national values. I know he despised the kingdom, but I think he still needed a glorious past to make people proud. That's where Renan came in. No, I think two is the way to go here, right? He was fond of both. He cared about our national values, as do I. I believe he was fond of the both. Of them both. He cared a lot about our national values. Well, I think he couldn't remove the whole history just like that. He still needed a past that made him and the people proud. If it was not going to be the kingdom he despised so much, it made sense to look further back. He just left in the parts he liked. Isn't it fascinating how a single person can alter history just like that? At that moment, we passed the corridor and entered the reception hall. Upon our entry, a crowd started clapping. It was composed of various politicians and state figures. Dry martinis were handed to both of us. Don't mind us, we're just passing by. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Leon Malinyev. People started clapping. With another thunderous applause, the jazz band started playing. Together with Malinyev, we started talking to the other people. The reception was in full swing. Swing? I thought it was jazz. After some time chatting with the attendees, Malinyev turned to me. Can we go someplace where we can hear each other better? He and I swapped our drinks for early maroon 30-year-olds. I knew a special spot. With our drinks at hand, we went down the stairs to the basement. Well, that's different. In our previous playthrough, if I'm not mistaken, our meeting with foreign dignitaries happened in the balcony. Gradually, the music and the sound of the party started to fade away. We arrived at a cozy little corner office with not much inside other than a table and comfortable chairs. He took a seat, and I followed suit. And yeah, the dude is 100% treating us like crap. But whatever. Let him have his day in the sun, right? It's very nice of you to throw a party for me before our official talks, but I am slightly tired from the long journey over the ocean. As much as I tried to sleep through the flight, I am an old man now. So don't mind me if I don't seem too enthusiastic about the reception. I just don't have the same energy of my youth. He smiled and took a sip from his glass. Then he sighed. Time is a funny concept, isn't it? You cannot feel it in the moment, only to realize later that your life passed you by. And one day you look in the mirror and see an old man. He took another sip. Huh. Which of these responses? I'm not going to say you're right, it's a scary concept. Makes us sound afraid of time itself. I believe you used the time relatively well so far. He doesn't deserve that compliment. He's wasted it away in his strange beliefs. When I look at you, I don't see an old man, but I do. I think taking a sip from my glass is what makes most sense. I think we've buttered him enough. You know. We gave him a proper welcome. He talked that down. We threw him a party. He talked that down. Enough butter. Enough butter. I also took a sip from my glass. You see, Mr. Rain, I've seen many presidents and world leaders change during my lifetime. I've seen toppled governments, civil wars, and war crimes. I fought against imperialism and the capitalist plutocracies that took its place. I look at the world today and think it has changed so much since I joined the Rotskis as a young revolutionary. But then I look at it again deeper and realize nothing much has really changed. It is maybe even more divided than ever. There are still wars in every corner of the world. There is still poverty, violence, and slavery. Don't you think we need to step up as leaders of this world to try to put an end to this? I completely agree. We need proper international cooperation. I do. That's why I'm meeting with you today. I think United Contana isn't entirely innocent in these conflicts, or we can only do so much. Yeah, we got to do a little bit of chest puffing for sure. I wonder if I should point out United Contana's flaws here. He'll have an excuse for it, as all politicians do. He'll be like, oh, we did what was necessary for the greater good, blah, 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 blah. Some of that nonsense, you know. Some of that nonsense, typical politic, right? But I feel like it's the right call. We could say it's like, yeah, we need proper international cooperation. He's gonna see that as an invitation to drag us into his little party, right? Well, I think we can only do so much is... I mean, I guess you could say it's neutral. I feel like... I feel like 3 is also neutral, but it's also putting our foot down a bit. Like, look, here, buddy, listen. I'm not going to have you wag your finger at me while you yourself are responsible for so much just trouble in the world, right? Just a little reminder that we know our history, too. It's a bit of a risk, I suppose. It's a bit of a risk. Wickles, I just vote tear gas. I was wondering, I was like, where is Wickles gone? All good. I think we should call it. I think 4 is it's a little dismissive, but it's also a little self-deprecating, I guess. Or it's a position of weakness, I guess. It's a position of weakness. We can only do so much. Oh, but my friend, you can do so much more. Join the CSP, blah, blah, blah. You know, all that kind of nonsense. I think United Contana isn't entirely innocent in these conflicts. Like, earning respect happens in a few different ways, right? If he's a respectable individual, then he'll admit the fault of his people, just as he's willing to point the finger, right? I never claimed we were innocent. I don't play games like the Arcasians. I can tell it as it is. See? I can respect that. +1 for Leon here. I might not like his politics, but at least he's able to admit that his side isn't entirely innocent. Yes, we were involved with a lot of conflicts that turned bloody. Was there any other way? I don't know. Probably not. There you go. That greater good speech. I still remember how Contana was a massive war zone, when all the warring states were supplied weapons by the West. Kings and dictators killed each other. Today, the whole continent is in peace, Mr. Rain, and now the rest of the world is furious. Okay. See, this is good. In the end, you formed the largest country in the world. Seems a little bit like we're, bringing out the knee pads. Those days must have been devastating. Maybe appeal to his, emotional side, I guess. There are many countries who look up to you, United Contana. You're not alone. Maybe that's a little bit too fluffy. And they're afraid of your power also sounds a little fluffy, isn't it? Seeing a couple calls for 3. There are many countries who look up to United Contana. You're not alone. I guess. There are many countries who look up to United Contana. We're not one of them. I guess 3 has a bit of a positive lean to it. I can be swayed towards 3. Spindle. 4 4, I think, is giving them too much legitimacy, you know, giving them too much, like I said, it's a little too, like, fluffy as well. But no, okay, I'll go with 3. Truth be told, 1, 3, and 4 are all fluffy, just in different ways. Let's go with, there are many countries who look up to you, Cantana. You're not alone. That was a hard choice. I'm not exactly sure if I'm the happiest with that one, I'll be honest. That's exactly what our enemies are furious about. And that's where the CSP comes in. But before we talk about that, he took another sip from his glass and stretched his hand to me. Could you help me? I grabbed his arm and helped him stand up. Can we talk somewhere a little less damp? I need some fresh air. Oh, you know, okay, I guess we're going to end up in the balcony after all. Would you want to have a rest? Chairman Malinyev. No, you know what? No. I know how he's going to be like, look, I don't have time to rest. I got to fly back tonight or some nonsense like that. Or I can remind him of how much of an old man he is and how I think of him as weak and needing rest. Would you want to have a rest, Chairman Malinyev? We can talk later if you're not feeling well. Oh, no, I'm fine. I didn't come here to sleep. I just need some fresh air, Mr. Rain. I led him up a set of back stairs to another unoccupied office with a balcony overlooking the Hill of Pride. There we settled around a table and took our seats. It was rather chilly outside. Reaching into his distinctive jacket, he pulled out a pipe and placed some tobacco leaves inside. The smell of the leaves was so heavy that it took over all the smells despite being outside. After preparing his pipe, he lit it with a match. His eyes drifted away from me while the wind blew his hair and smoke to the side. He stared at the horizon to the north. Beyond these plains lies the great Markian Sea, and in the middle of it, a small island. Small, but very important. I'm glad that you gave your support to Chancellor Hegel. It is unacceptable to see the Volgish locals of the island being destroyed by the anti-Volgish regime in Helgeland. The oppression transformed into a whole new level. All of this happening because Volksland joined the CSP. Now the Western powers are trying to get Agnolia to their side. They're selling them financial aid, weapons, and intelligence in return for pushing their political agenda. This whole firepower is now being directed at the locals in Helgeland. They want to finally eliminate the Volgish culture in the island and set up a military base close to Volksland. We cannot allow that to happen, can we? I believe Volksland was the right to interfere. It's their people who are being massacred. Agnolia is definitely becoming a threat. Or you're right. We can't. Okay, hold on. Volksland is a member of the CSP. And they are the ones who we sided with because our old ally, Agnolia, treated us like crap. It's a matter of stance. Is it more about Agnolia becoming a threat, or is it more about Volksland having the right to interfere? Saying Agnolia is becoming a threat, I think, empowers Arcasia and their conglomerate of nations a bit, right? I feel like saying Volksland has the right to interfere is about my belief in national integrity, the right to sovereignty, all that kind of stuff, which we can then maybe turn into a conversation about our own situation with Rumberg. Unfortunately, not this time, Wickles. Not enough Bloods on that island, those lucky people on the island. Having to deal only with the oppression of their local government, but not the Bloods at least. I know, how dare they hate our puppy diplomacy. I think, yeah, I believe Volksland has the right to interfere. It's their people who are being massacred. That's right. But for me, this isn't a nationalistic problem. Whether they are Volgs, Agnolians, or Contanans who are being killed, it doesn't matter. In the end, people are dying, and for no reason other than political aims of their government. Everything has become a race for total influence in Mercopa. This is just a part of Arcasia's grand plan. They want the CSP removed from the region. Agnolia is their puppet in this cause. He took a long puff on his pipe. United Contana will never allow Arcasia to install weapons so close to Volksland, nor let them harass CSP ships. They can't be given control of the Markian Sea. Helgeland cannot fall. Right, you're right, Chairman Malinyev. We can't let the Western powers take control. Or I thought this was about people being killed. Or so you think Arcasia is behind this? I mean, Arcasia is almost certainly at least part of it. See, the more... I don't want to lean too heavily on his side, because he'll be like, well, the only solution is... it's so difficult. Because on the one hand, he'll be like, the only solution is to join the CSP. On the other hand, he'll be like, look, you and I are very aligned. So even if you don't join the CSP, we can work together. Right? I mean, yeah, I could call him out. I'm leaning towards calling him out with number 2. Natalie, how's it going? Glad you can make it. Having a good day, I hope. Hey, Jazzy B. How's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it after all. Hope work didn't treat you too roughly. Yeah, I thought this was about people being killed. It is. It is about a group of people being destroyed to further the aims of the Agnolian government. Hold on. Now it's about a group of people, which is working towards isolating our allies, as well as expanding the influence of Arcasia. He took another puff and started coughing heavily. One of his bodyguards, in full military uniform that watched us from the sides, rushed towards us with a bottle of water when he noticed Malinyev's coughing. Thank you, Mikhail, but I'm fine. The guard bowed in respect as Malinyev drank from the bottle. He then left the balcony with quick steps. So you're not fine. You needed the water then. Treat your people well, damn it. So, where were we? Yes, Sordland's future in the CSP. Excuse me? He cleaned up the burnt tobacco residue from his pipe and refilled it. You know, we formed the CSP only in reaction to the ATO. Their aim in the beginning was to stop us from uniting the entire continent under socialism. They failed, and now they're more scared than ever. That's why they're being more and more aggressive. Today, you need the CSP in order to survive against the economic power of the West. United Contana is willing to give everything it has to help others in their fight against Western dominance. 2 or 3 folks here. I'm not sure if we need it, but I definitely want to cooperate. Sounds like a middle ground, non-aligned cooperation, right? ATO says the same about the CSP. It's like, what do I have to gain by saying that, is my opinion. That's why I have you here. To me, sounds like a full acceptance of like, yeah, I'm with everything you're saying. Yeah, let's sign those papers, right? I don't like that. So I feel like 2 is the way to go over here. Not sure if we need it, but I definitely want to cooperate. Don't get me wrong, Sordland is a powerful country. But the world has changed, and you cannot stand alone. He lit his pipe and took a puff. The wind pushed all of the smoke in my face. Without us, Arcasia would dominate the world. The Arcasian lira is already crippling other economies while bringing all the wealth to them. Yet they claim they're the bringers of freedom. Absurd. Our pact aims to develop the rest of the world that were left out. Bring people together and make a stand. Show the world the power of the people when they unite. So hereby I extend an invitation to Sordland. I want you to see you stand with us. Oh, yeah, exactly. And now he's calling us powerful. Okay, very well. I mean, it's just all political fluffery, you know. David, how's it going, buddy? I'm glad you can make it. Happy Friday to you as well. Having a good one, I hope. You know, I've been mulling over this for the past little while, and I'll throw the thought out there again right now because it just occurred to me. But I've been wondering for like the better part of the last 6 or so months now if I shouldn't begin the streams a little bit later in the day. And I say this because I noticed the numbers, like just, you know, how many people come through to watch and hang out and stuff. They kind of like have a point in time during the day when they crescendo, if you will. And it's relatively consistent. So I've been wondering about that for the last little while, starting, you know, around now, 30 minutes from now, as opposed to when I usually start. I like starting streams in the morning because it's a good motivator for me to like get up and get an early start to my day. I'm not a morning person, so it helps. And it also is nice to have it done early and then have the rest of my day for like recording and editing and all that kind of stuff. But I have been tempted. I'll probably throw that out there on the Discord or something at some point in the near future. What do we have over here? I got some 1s, I got some 2s, got some 4s. I'm seeing a lot more 1s. What does the CSP offer for Sordland? You think so? I mean, yeah, we could try that. I'm sorry. I just saw a talk of peppermint tea, and I got very curious. You know, you should try to if you can. You should try, if you've never had it before, you should try Maghrebi tea. It's black tea and mint tea together, and a lot of recipes don't use any sugar, but just like pile on some sugar, and it is my second favorite way to have tea. Yeah, we could experiment with it, Artie-san. Thing is, usually when I start a later stream, it's like a one-off or like a special event or something like that. So like more people show up because it's a special event. But also just during a regular stream, like, you know, it usually comes up around this time of day. So I've been thinking about it. Anyway, sure. You know what? Let's try this. Let's try this. What does the CSP offer for Sordland? Maghrebi. So Maghrebi tea is a mix of green tea, mint teas, and black tea. That's what makes it Maghrebi. It's not just the mint aspect of it. Or so I've been led to believe in my time living in Morocco. Maybe it's a very specific Moroccan approach to it, but I do believe it's a blend of black and mint. Definitely mint. But I've had it with a mix of black tea and mint tea, or mint leaves, black tea leaves. You know what I mean. Anyway, sorry. Back on track. Tea is, wow. Just got myself completely distracted there. It is delicious though. Whether it's a modified version of original Maghrebi tea, or if it's a Moroccan specialty, or if it's just what I'm familiar with because of the way it had been served to me when I was there, and I've brought it over with me. Either way, it's a delicious combination. It's really good. Yeah, you should try it out if you've never had it before. Oh, in fact, I want some right now. It's a good summertime tea as well, because like even if it gets cold, it's absolutely delicious. All right. Wow, I really got sidetracked by tea there. What does the CSP offer for Sordland? Security. First and foremost, CSP is a defense pact. You'll have the backing of the entire military power of the CSP. United Contana and all other members are obliged to defend each other in times of war. We also supply each nation with our military technology and assets, as well as financial aid when it's needed. All members supply each other with their resources and goods, not for their own profit, but for the profit of the pact. Our combined production output will benefit both Sordland and CSP. Not to mention visa-free access to every country within the CSP, as well as other mutual assistance deals. He took another puff from his pipe. What do you expect in return? You must accept our doctrines and work towards the goals of the Pact, to further our power against the ATO. You will not import any technology from Arcasia, nor export natural resources to them. And finally, we want you to allow us to build a missile defense system in Duru Island, which will protect both Sordland and the CSP from the threat of the ATO. There it is. That's the big no. You know, can't do that one, right? Can't do that one. Wait, no. Nothing to apologize for. B, I'm the one who got sidetracked. There's no one else to blame. C, yeah, tea's always great to talk about. Can't complain about that. Yeah, if they offer tea, Alliance will be secure. Is it good tea? You have access to some of that Assam tea? Then, alright, where do I sign? I'm not going to join the CSP. But let's poke some more. Let's prod a bit more. Will you stand against us? Will you stand against us? Will you stand with us against the threat of Runeberg? Of course. Runeberg is a threat to Mercopa. Surely they're being pushed by the Western powers to create instability in the region. Being a CSP member, nobody will dare attack you. And if any conflict occurs nonetheless, you'll have the entire CSP support. I promise you, their queen will no longer meddle in Sordland nor Eastern Mercopa. We have to decline, right? We have to decline. We can't join the CSP. They're going to completely change. They go against our policies. We don't believe in their political beliefs, right? In their economic beliefs. They want to establish a military base, a missile base. Well, the thing is, that's how it starts, Pantron Wolf. That's how it begins, right? They get some ground upon which they establish a missile silo and a missile base. And then they need another one, and then they need an air base here, and an air base there, and a military base, and a forward operating base. And the next thing you know, we're nothing but a pawn in their great game, right? Makes me uncomfortable. to give them access to our territory like that, because that makes us more of a target as well. See, and they can abandon us in no time because they have countless missile silos and missile bases and air bases in the region. We're one of many, you know. And they speak of alliance and working together, but that's all talk. Do I have any other backup plans? My backup plan is that we use our whistleblower to blow a whistle and make public the knowledge of what Roomberg is up to, and use that to try and like diplomatically strong arm them. Either that, or hope that our retaliation and our military parade just shows Roomberg we mean business, and they realize that they don't really want war. You know what I mean? The thing is, like, again, I'd be open. See, here's the thing. I'd be open to everything else they offered, except the moment they start establishing military bases in our land, it's a loss of sovereignty, I guess, is how I would see it. It's giving up our sovereign land to a foreign entity for military purposes. So I think a missile silo beats an activist. Sorry, what do you mean? Do you mean like literally, like just like in a toe-to-toe? Plus, we would upset everybody. We would upset our party. We would upset Yosef. And let's not forget, Yosef, he leads the military. And when I say leads, I mean that in like every sense of the word. The military loves Yosef. And he warned us. He told us not to join the CSP. And I feel like if we do join the CSP, despite that, we will absolutely have a coup in our hands, right? So let's not forget about the greater context as well. And let's not forget about the threat from inside the house too, right? So I think, unfortunately, and maybe he'll change his tune. Maybe he'll be like, okay, well, what about a middle ground, right? Maybe he'll offer a middle ground. But unfortunately, I have to decline. He narrowed his eyes and stared at me as he exhaled the smoke right into my face. See? Dude's an ass. He doesn't deserve our respect. It was all talk and it's all show, right? Too bad, Mr. Rain. I thought you knew what to expect when you accepted our offer to meet. Looks like it was just a waste of time. He smiled. Nonetheless, I extend my good wishes to the Swordish people. I wish one day we could all set aside our differences and all people of the world can come together. Maybe today the world is not ready for that, but our revolution will keep expanding and helping others who need it, whether you stand with us or not. Just know that standing alone in this world is not as easy as it seems. He slowly stood up from his seat, seemingly struggling. Now, I'd like to have a rest, if you'll excuse me. There we go. 3 is kind of what I'm leaning towards. Ooh, or do we go with 2? I wanted to have a deal today, but your terms were not acceptable. Do you think it'll open the door for a conversation, or will he be like, well, unfortunately, those are our terms, so goodbye? Oh, man, 2 and 3 can both either open up, you know, an extended conversation or shut the door immediately. I will also point out that I just got an achievement called No Friends But Swords. And earlier, actually, when we decided to retaliate against the warplane, like in the warplane incident, I got another achievement saying, oh crap, what was it called? Militarist state. Indeed, he is an old man. He is weak. See, I think it's a little unfair to pin the blame on us with these conversations, with these negotiations failing. You know, he didn't even want to discuss a potential middle ground. It was his way or the highway. That's not how negotiations work. He's like, here's what I'm offering you. Here's what I want in return. You don't want that? All right. Well, I'm going to blow smoke in your face and leave. Right? So he's not being much of a diplomat here. True. You know what, Ricky Cool, you got a point there. Yeah. That's a good interpretation. I see a couple calls for 2, and I do like your point there, Ricky Cool. 2 is continuing the deal. 3 is a weak response, hoping it'll go our way. Yeah. I wanted to have a deal today as well, but your terms were not acceptable. It is fine, Mr. Rain. You must have your own reasons for those decisions. I cannot judge you for it. I'll let him back inside. Well, there it is. Might be in weaker position than I'd like to be in, but at least we haven't forsaken our integrity. Pantron, I mean, he was earlier. he went from one end to the other, eh? Real fast. Yeah, I should have stabbed him. Just got it over with. Yeah, I know Halathor. Very good point as well. Talking about people coming together and using the phrase "with us" or not. He's contradicts himself constantly. But you know, as politicians do. What do we have over here? Welfare. Alcohol consumption reduced. With the alcohol tax increase nationwide, the consumption and importation of alcohol products have dropped significantly, which led to an unexpected decrease in alcohol-related crime across the country. Wonderful. Our economy. Luxury goods tax. Oh, this is from a while ago. That's a lot. We already know what this is. I'm not going to spend a minute reading that out. All right, looks like we're moving on to the next event already. At Hallsword, a late night at the Rain household. Oh, man. I just don't want to deal with my wife's shenanigans. Jeez. Where is Peter, though? For real, I saw he's playing polo, and that made me think about it right away. Where is Peter? He's been MIA for a little while. Laying low. After weeks of late nights, Monica, Ciara, and the Women's Rights Commission had succeeded in presenting their bill before the Assembly, only for it to fail. I left work early, expecting my wife would be in need of comfort, but it had been hours since I'd gotten home, and she still wasn't there. I was dozing on the couch after yet another frozen TV dinner when I heard the key turn in the lock. Monica stumbled into the hall. "Honey, I'm home." "Where were you?" "I was just having a few drinks with Ciara. We're so close to winning, Anton. Those goddamn Assembly pricks ruined it all." She collapsed onto the couch and buried her head in her hands. Let's, I'm trying to be faux supportive, right? Got to be the good old-fashioned gaslighting husband, right? Make her feel like I would have loved to be there. Okay, Percy spelling the truth out. You could have invited me to the commiseration session. Oh, you would have found it boring. And somebody had to look after Deanna. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Wait, Deanna's home? I'm starting to see what I put you through all these years. Nah, I believe you're turning into a politician. I'm not sure I like this side of you. Yeah, I'm not sure I like this side of you. Get used to it, baby. Seriously, Anton, this is what I want to do. I've never felt so alive. Oh, wow. The framed photo that we took from our old office. I don't think we got to use that last time. It'd be nice to, drink a little more, I suppose. I don't like any side of her. Ho ho. Hey hey. Ho ho ho. Yeah, I do. Look at those curls. What are you talking about? Come on. Trying to figure out. No. I don't think Peter and my wife are up to anything. My wife, I'm pretty sure, despises Peter for more than one reason. Yeah, let's show her the framed photo we took from our old office. Nostalgia bait her. I opened my briefcase and pulled out the photograph I'd taken from my old office on that fateful night with Peter. Oh, wow. Look at us. Man, these are the events that really stop me, in my tracks. It's easy for me to talk about nuclear war and turning down political alliances, but it's these family conversations that have always slowed me down. I'm still as madly in love with you as I was the day that photo was taken. We were so young, we had no idea what was in store, or who would have thought we would wind up as Sordland's most powerful couple. God damn. Which one do you pick, right? I think I like one. I think I like one. Three is tempting as well. But I don't know if it's the right place for, the most powerful couple. I think one. I'm still as madly in love with you as I was the day that photo was taken. Monica smiled, took my hand, and wordlessly led me upstairs to the bedroom. Yeah, maybe she should go out drinking with Ciara more often. You don't see the next sentence after that, which is she passes out on the bed. Well, that's nice. I mean, jokes aside, that's nice. It has been bothering me that like we don't get along with Monica, you know, because you look at the past, you know, like we've gotten along so well, and then yeah, it's nice. That's nice. Back to reality. Rumburgian plane shot. That's not the only thing going down tonight. Josef Lansea reports that a Rumburgian warplane was shot down by anti-aircraft upon violating the Sordish airspace. According to the report of the General Staff, the plane was flying over the town of Halgan inside Sordish borders and did not retreat upon warning. Wow, we had precedent. Oh, Flak Armor, you're so right. Our night with Monica has improved our economy rather significantly. Rather significantly. It's not bad at all. All right, that's good. We had good reason to shoot that plane down then. It was flying over Halgan, well within our borders. Well within our borders. Robo Gold coming through with a tip. Thank you very much, buddy. Heading to sleep. Good day / night. Well, thank you very much for joining in today, man. Have yourself a wonderful night's rest, and I do appreciate the support. As I say always, it really helps keep the channel alive, running smoothly, just keeps it all sustainable and viable. So I appreciate it very much. Thanks for joining in, and do have yourself a wonderful night's rest and a wonderful weekend as well if I don't catch you over the course of it. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much. All right, yeah, just a little bit more left in our stream today. Hopefully we can get another event in, another conversation in. One-on-one interview from Kairut. Lucien Galati organized an interview for the presidency on the internationally renowned One-on-One. The famous journalist Thomas Sacker will be asking the questions. The crew of One-on-One and Thomas Sacker will arrive next week in Lackhaven from Kairut. Well, that'll be interesting. Campaign trail in full effect. Volkslandian Navy spotted in full force in Helgeland. According to intelligence reports, Volkslandian Navy gathered in full force around Helgeland, blockading the island. The reports warn about a possible violent conflict between Agnolia and Volkslandian forces. Sordish Navy in Conriat is on standby. I mean, this could be terrifying. If Rumburg... Oh, man, if we're lucky... Tranquil Sea. What a misnomer. If Rumburg declares... Oh, geez, they might see an opportunity against Agnolia and completely ignore us instead. Yo, Carl definitely MVP, for sure, man. He came through on that terrorist attack. Right off the bat. We've been doing all right today. This has been a good session so far. All right, we got this event over here, but we got... what is this event? Whoa, campaign ads. And murder investigation. Investigations into the assassination of Ambassador Mazov found evidence that the assassin, Arnold Simon Nerder, had ties to various organizations, each having their own ties with the Old Guard. Oh. ASN was discovered to have served as a policeman in Arvery and Hallsword before retiring and joining the Nearest Cultural Foundation. Well, this is an interesting turn of events. The Old Guard is up to some nasty stuff. I wonder / hope we can use that to our advantage. Sordland shoots down Rumburg warplane in retaliation. And it seems as though my upstairs neighbors have decided some renovations. Okay. That's really loud. Holy crap. I have to like mute the mic. It gets picked up. All of it gets picked up. Folks, we're going to call it a session over here because that's not going to stop anytime soon. Yeah, yikes. Sorry about that, folks, but we're going to have to call it here. That's not going to stop anytime soon. With that said, though, Carl Schneider, thank you very much for subscribing. Hope you're enjoying the show, or enjoyed it so far at least. On your way out, folks, don't hesitate to hit that like button because it does really make a big difference, letting me know that you're interested in watching more of this. If you're watching the VOD, leave a like and a comment as well. Again, as always, it really does help. It's really loud, and we only have a few minutes left anyway. Oh, now they're hammering too. What is this nonsense? Man, it's going to get in the way of recording. Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't start it this time. I know, for real, right? Anyway, folks, as always, thanks to everyone who came through today. It's so distracting. A massive thanks, as always, to all of our channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. Massive thanks as well, of course, to each and every one of you for watching. As I always say, none of this would be possible without each and every one of you. I really hope the drilling stops because I got a lot of recording to do today. Folks, I did also drop a new video that is out on the channel right now. You might want to check it out, especially if you're a fan of the Total War series and Warhammer in general. But yeah, I mean, hey, I'm glad they started. I'm glad they started this now when the stream was about to end anyway, before we got into a conversation. I'll catch you guys on the Discord now or late, depending on if the drilling stops, either in a bit or later on tonight. I do need a break after this past week. God, it's loud. But yeah, I'll see if I can if I can take a break today and hop into the Discord and just chill. Don't hesitate to join in. Got the link there from Wickles. Thank you very much. Dropping it in chat. It's also, of course, always in the description down below. But folks, have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Friday. If I don't catch you anytime today, enjoy your weekends. If I don't catch you over the weekend, hopefully I'll see you on Monday, same time as always, continuing our Crusader Kings 3 playthrough, and then of course back on Friday with Suzerain as well. Thank you, Healthor. Very kind words. I appreciate that. Thank you all for coming through, though. I appreciate the company as always. Have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful day, and I do hope to catch you in the Discord later tonight. Once I've got all my work for the day done, I need a couple hours of just chill vibes and hanging out. So have yourselves a wonderful time. Hopefully I'll catch you then. If not, though, until I catch you, cheers.